Hello, this is Mr. Rasmus with Algebra 1 and lesson 111. On this one here, we're doing some line graphs, and it involves conjunctions and disjunctions. Now, a conjunction is where two things work together. Sometimes they write this as an and. You can see in example 1 here, they put it just in a line there, but we could have written if I'd use the side here, -5 is anything less than or equal to x minus 4, and x minus 4 is anything less than 2. So we could have written it that way. However, I find it a little easier if they write it out in this form here. All right, so our first step is to actually get x by itself. Now notice there's 3 spots here. If you were to do these by themselves, right, you would balance both sides, balance both sides. Well, in this case, there's 3 spots here that we want to balance. So to get x by itself, we're going to add a 4 here, which cancels it, but we also have to add a 4 here and add a 4 on the other side because we got 2 symbols making 3 spots that we're keeping the same. So when we do so, -5 plus 4 is -1. Anything less than or equal to x, and then x is less than 6. All right, now that we've done that, now we're going to graph this. So x is anything greater than -1 or equal to. So I'm going to come and put a -1 right here. It's equal to it, so it's a closed circle. And then my domain is integers, so I'm not going to have any lines, just a bunch of closed circles. So x is anything larger, so we're going to work this way here. Going to keep coming over, it's less than 6. So if I put 6 here, it doesn't include 6 because there's no bar. So it's actually the first number it includes on the high end is +5. So I have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, there we go, and closed circles on all of those. And so you see that it's got the low parameter. It's not anything less than -1. It's not anything greater than +5. And we've graphed that. Okay, let's look at example 2 here. This one is my disjunction. Notice I do have 2 equations written as this, and it has an or. So in the first case here with the conjunction, both of the equations have to be true. In this one here, x is anything larger than what it turns out to be is -1, and it would keep going with an arrow if we didn't have the second part, but since we do have the second part, that limits it, and both of the things have to be true for this to qualify. In the or, only one of the things has to be true for it to come on the graph. So let's take a look here. We've got x is anything greater than 3. So let's put a 3 on here, greater than or equal to, so positive, or a closed circle there, and then that's going actually this way. And I can put that on there right now because if something calls for that, then it can go on there because it's an or. All right, and then x is anything less than or equal to -2, so if I come over here and put a -2, closed circle because it's equal to, and x is anything less than an arrow going this way. And that's there, my graph of, forgot my domain. My domain is integers, so I do not have bars in here. Let's do +4 with a line, +5 with a line. This way would be a -3 with a dot, and then the arrow showing that it goes in integers right and left from there. Okay, so notice the numbers over here aren't a part of this one, but it doesn't matter because it's the or. Let's look at the third example. In the third example, x is anything greater than 15. So let's put 15 on there like that. It's not equal to it, so we got an open circle. We got a bar with a line because it's all reals going to the right. X anything less than or equal to 10. So let's put 10 on my graph here, closed circle, and a bar and a line going to the left to show that either one of those is true. So basically the numbers in the middle don't qualify. All right, go ahead and work through the 2 practice problems and then check your work with my work. Let's look at the first one here. In the first one, it's written out as 3 parts here, and so that's a conjunction. I need to get x by itself, so I'm add a 2 to my 3 different sections. It cancels in the middle. I get 8, and x is anything greater than or equal to 8, and then less than 7. So for this one here, let's see what happens on our number line here. Here's 8, okay? So I want to put x is anything greater than 8, so that would be here, right? With an arrow going this way. However, it also has to be a part of this one, so x is anything less, here's 7, doesn't include 7, but it's saying x is anything less than 7, here's like this. Now if this was an OR situation, then we would be fine, but since it's not, oh, actually, I think I'm writing this, I'm doing this one a little wrong. X is anything greater than 7. Oh, I have a 7 here. 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, in this case, if this was a 7, then there's no number that can qualify for both. This one right here, if there was a 7 here, would be a null set. It wouldn't work. However, did my math wrong. 7 plus 2 is actually 9. So let's rewrite that. I'm going to have an 8 here with a solid dot going this way, and then x is anything less than 9. So here's my 9, open circle, and just a bar that goes in between those there. Okay, got that one corrected there, as I did some simple math incorrectly. All right, let's look at practice problem B. This one has an OR in here, which means it's a disjunction. Our domain is just the integers, so just the whole numbers. And I got to simplify this one first. This one here, I got to get x by itself. So I'm going to divide by a -1. Remember, that's going to flip my sign, and negative divided by negative is a positive. So there we go. All right, so I rearranged my first equation there. So x is going to be, let's put a 3 on there. X is going to be anything less than 3. So open circle, and oh yeah, an open circle here because it doesn't include that. So basically, arrow is going this way. So it looks like that. The 3 is not included. You actually don't even need the open circle. It could just be there. Okay, and then x is anything greater than 7 or equal to. So let's put a 7 over here, a closed circle and 7, and then an arrow going this way. We want to indicate that it is integers, so let's put an 8 on there and a closed circle on 8 as well, just so that's clear, and an arrow going there. Okay, as you work with these, just recognize whether it's a conjunction or a disjunction, and then other than that, it's back to the normal graphing on a number line that you're used to. All right, feel free to text me if you have a question. Have a great day.